that was fun. Really happy for our football team. Just the ability to persevere throughout the course of the season, to prove a lot of people wrong. But it's really ultimately about their ability to stay together and continue to fight. And I think I've said it so many times, when you go through adversity and you just keep your head down, you keep working, you keep sticking together, you come through it, usually you're better for it. And I think we are a callous football team. I got to give the Bears a ton of credit. They kept it close all game. But ultimately, I felt like we were in control most of the night. Certainly, our defense did an outstanding job holding them to 9 points. Offensively, controlled the ball. It's just we got to find a way to score more points. And it was great. What a great atmosphere, great environment. I can't say enough about our fans. That was a playoff type atmosphere. And anytime you get that type of feeling in Lambeau, I think it's tough on any opponent. So shout out to the fans, and just really happy for everybody involved with the Green Bay Packers.
Jordan had the pressure of taking over for Rodgers, and he had the 2-5 start. Now he's in the playoffs. How was he able to just kind of stay even keeled, just keep his head up through all the adversity he had to deal with?
Yeah, he's a tough-minded sucker now. His family did a hell of a job raising him in terms of just what he's all about. He is, I think you guys would all agree, the ones that know him in here, he's about the right. And sorry for that, but he's about all the right things. And the guy just comes to work every day, has a great attitude, is one of the guys, has really improved over the course of 4 years, and I'm just super happy for him. He's earned it.
So along those lines, Matt, he was 27 out of 32 today, which is big time against any competition. How is he able to stay? This is obviously a big game. How's he able to do that, considering the defense you played and the big game atmosphere?
He's just resilient. Those are things you cannot coach. You can sit there and talk about it till you're blue in the face. However, that is something that he possesses, and I admire him for that. His ability to stay even keel, to battle through adversity, to lead our team. He did an outstanding job, and he's been doing it. I think he's certainly proved himself over the back half of the season. I don't think there's many questions left, to be honest with you. He's just got to continue to do what he's been doing and show up each and every day with that same mindset. And I think, great things are in store for him.
Matt, the seedings say you're the last team in the playoffs, but with the way your team has been playing down the stretch, how excited are you to see what they can do here in the end?
Oh, it's going to be great for our team in terms of we got to go on the road and earn it. And certainly going to Dallas is not going to be an easy task. Got a lot of respect for what Coach McCarthy's been able to establish there. They got a lot of great players. We saw them last year, and it was a tough battle. So, we're going to have to be at our best in order to go down there and come away with the victory.
I asked Jordan what kept this team believing when things weren't going so well. He said how close all the games were, that you guys were right there. I imagine it's more than just that for you, though. Like, what kept you believing in this team?
It's just you, in my experience in this league, a lot of games are going to be tight, and you just, I don't know, that's kind of how I guess my brain works anyways. The thing that kept me believing is watching these guys work and watching the improvements made throughout the course of the season. And a lot of times you see things in practice. I think it all comes back down to that, where we're doing some great things, and then maybe something goes wrong in a game. But there were so many moments throughout the course of the year where that left me optimistic that we could fight through this thing. And it was just about a matter of time. I think there is a learning curve when you have, and it's never an excuse when you have young players. It is what it is. But there is a learning curve for those guys, and the more they play, typically the better you get. And across the board, I think our staff's done a great job of staying together. I think it always starts there in terms of nobody was pointing fingers, just, they came with the right mindset of trying to get their position group to get better and for them to continue to push them to get better. But it's a credit to the guys in the locker room and just in terms of those guys are battling for each other. I think it was pretty clear tonight, just the effort that was out there. Like I said, that was a playoff type game right there.
The sequence at the end of the half, the sequence at the end of the half, was there one, do you think there was one mistake that was bigger, more important than the rest?
There was a lot of mistakes at the end of the half. I mean, to come away with no points or an opportunity with no points, certainly, we were in what we call an O-zone situation where the ball has to go out of bounds or to the end zone. I know Tuck wishes he would have got out of bounds a couple plays before where we burned a timeout. But certainly, Stevenson did a great job there. He was playing a cloud corner. He was off, 8-9 yards, and he just drove on the ball. And that's something that we coach our guys to do all the time is to, when a receiver's going out of bounds, to knock them backwards. Your forward progress is stopped. The clock continues to run, and that's something that I think Jordan's he's going to learn from. I think that was. I think there was 2 plays out of however many plays we had on offense that he would like to have back, but I think all in all, he had a hell of a night.
Guys like Bo Melton calculate this entire season just the way, guys out of nowhere, and then there's Bo Melton, what he did today.
Yeah, Bo made a bunch more plays, and there was, the one in the end zone, I don't know. I couldn't tell. You guys would know better than I would whether or not that was a touchdown, but certainly they didn't call it that way. But it's been pretty cool just to see a guy like that probably most of you have never really heard of, to see him get an opportunity to go out there and perform at a high level. And he continues to do it. And I think, again, it goes back to his approach, his work ethic, his mentality, attitude, all of that. The guy just works and gets better.
Your defense held the Bears to under 200 yards, got to Fields 5 times. Just what was it like seeing Joe Barry getting all fired up and just how they played tonight for you guys?
Yeah, I thought our defense was outstanding. Anytime you hold anybody under 10 points, you better find a way to win that football game. So outstanding effort by our defense. I know he's taken a lot of criticism. We all have. But he's a tough-minded guy that continues to show up and put in the work. And, our guys were battling out there tonight. I thought the effort was outstanding.
What do the grounds people tell you about the field and it being slick? Is that just the way it's always going to be up here in this climate in December and January?
I don't know. I don't worry about that.
Coach, obviously you guys were in the same scenario last year as well and came out on the wrong side this time and came away with a win. What was the biggest difference between last year as opposed to this year?
It's a different year, a different team. I'm tired of talking about last year.
Matt, what was the key against Herbert? He had come in like back-to-back 100-yard games, just like Jonesy. Jonesy did his thing, but you guys really seemed to shut down Herbert. What do you think the key was there?
Yeah, I think it was just our guys playing physical and playing aggressive and playing downhill. And certainly they had their moments where they got some yardage. But all in all, I thought our guys were flying to the football. I think you saw it on the first play of the game. Jair went in there and it was just a very physical football play. And just really happy for our defense and really everybody, but in particular our defense. Those guys, just they're playing their butt off right now.
Aaron Jones hasn't had the season he wanted health-wise, but how does he look to you now with his big performances heading into the
Yeah, he's out. I mean, you can all see it. I mean, he's a difference maker, right? His ability to be out there and get explosive gains and, fight for some tough yardage, break tackles, both in the run game, pass game. He does a great job. He definitely takes a lot of pressure off other people. He takes pressure off the line in terms of, and I thought our offensive line did an outstanding job. Coming off the rock, that's one thing that we always stress in the run game. It looked like we were getting pretty good movement. So I thought they kept Jordan clean for most of the night. So, hats off to the offensive line.
Did you think Reed was out of bounds on that long, 59-yarder when we guys hurried up to the line?
What do you think?
I thought maybe, which is I thought maybe why you went
That's
fast.
why we went fast, yeah.
On
I'm not, because otherwise, we're not going to necessarily call that play in that situation, but, I mean, it was worth it. I mean, it was a, 58-yard gain or whatever it was. You know, it happened, he happened to fly right in front of me on the sidelines, and I was like, oof. It felt close, but that's, I mean, that was a pretty cool play because he's really not even part of the progression. That was just Jordan being Jordan and making a play, and Jaden Reed making a play. It was awesome. It was a great job by those guys, but certainly couldn't chance it in that situation. And I think it took us a little bit longer to get lined up and snap the ball than I would have liked. I don't know what they were doing over on the sideline, but we gotta make sure that we're in tune, and so we don't give somebody an opportunity to challenge that.
You know, what does he mean, though? I mean, you got out a bunch of different kinds of slot guys over the past few years, and not that he's just a slot, but
Yeah, he can do it all. He can do it all. You can put him anywhere. He's just a baller, and you want to get the ball in his hands however you can, and we got a lot of them. I thought Wicks had a heck of a game as well. Bo Melton, I thought Malik made some nice plays. Obviously, losing Rome was tough early on, and I think Rome's had a hell of a year as well. So all those guys, we got a lot of ballers in that room, and those guys, it's been so cool to watch that room operate, because I think I might have said it earlier this week, just, you know, as a receiver, you naturally want the football, but those guys, they don't really care. I mean, they're cheering on each other. They're getting excited for one another. When one guy scores, they're over there celebrating together, and it's a special bond, I would say, that's been created in that room. And you know, hats off to Vrabel for how he's coached those guys. I think he's done an outstanding job with them.
Hey, Matt, I know you've said you didn't have expectations coming into this season, and I know every year is hard, but you're looking at this roster, and it's just young guy after young guy after young guy. Did you think that it might be a bit of a daunting challenge for you and your staff? And what does it mean to have gone from whatever those thoughts might have been to where you are now?
I mean, you guys are going to think I'm full of crap, but I don't operate that way. I have a hard time taking it any further than what's in front of us, and really truly try to take it one day at a time and just look for and try to find ways to push these guys to get better. And it's a credit to the guys, you know. They don't have to buy into anything if they don't want to, but they've been. It's a close-knit group. I think there's just going back to practice on Friday, there was a former Packer here who was here in previous years and saw our practice, and he couldn't believe how much energy was at practice. And I think that's what's so cool about the group, is a lot of these guys haven't been through this, and but there's so much youthful energy, and these guys just keep their head down, and they continue to battle and try to get a little bit better.
More, please.
They got a lot to prove, you know, all these guys.
What was your fastest 40 in college, and did you crack it running up to Jordan after the game?
I wasn't that fast.
What, all kidding aside, why was it? Why'd you do it, and why was that so important?
I'm super happy for him. Like, you know, he's just. I know it's not always easy when you're a first round pick, and you have to sit there and watch and, you know, wait your turn. That's tough. That's tough on a lot of guys, and but he approached it the right way. He's been a great teammate. He's been super supportive in whatever role he's taken on, and he's excelled in whatever role he's taken on, and it's really rewarding to see the progress he's made over the course of these few years, and just that was a cool moment. Just you know, to have that atmosphere, to be in the situation. I know I said I don't want to compare years, but to be in a situation and not get it done, but to get it done tonight in front of our fans and walk off that field, like that was really important.
Matt, you had a lot to prove this year too. Love's got things that you can do that can't be taught.
What's that?
I'm sorry, Matt, you mentioned that Love's got things you can do that you can't coach, you can't teach. That last play to Kraft, the last pass of the game.
That was a hell of a play.
Kind of one of those plays.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Not necessarily and it went off schedule. He escaped the pocket, or flushed to the right, and I can't say enough great things about Tucker Kraft either. I mean, he's another guy that just, is he may not have always loved the role, especially early on. I know he wanted to be out there more, but he's earned it, and it's going to be fun. Getting Musgrave back tonight was awesome, and I don't know how many plays, what the final snap count was, but to have those two guys along with all those wideouts, it's going to be tough to get everybody the ball and keep them all happy, but I guess that's a good problem to have. So but the improvement that room has shown, John Dunn's done a great job with those guys. Having 3 rookies in there, then having Josiah, who's obviously got a very important role with us, more as a fullback, but to see the growth and development in that room's been pretty cool as well.
Matt, did you think you had a lot to prove this year?
As a head coach for the Packers.
Do you think you had a lot to prove this year too? Just
I'm not worried about that, guys. I'm not worried about proving anything. I just want to come to work every day and attack it the right way. And, there's a lot of time, energy, effort that's put into this thing. And, I don't worry about the outside noise. I worry about the guys in the locker room. I worry about the people in this building. So that's not something that motivates me.
It sure seemed like Watson was trending toward going. What happened in between Friday and resting him in the decision day?
He just wasn't ready to play. So I know it's been extremely frustrating for him. I've had a pretty good indication that it probably was trending that way. A little gamesmanship on my part. Sorry to lie to everybody. But it just, it's one of those things that I know it's really frustrating. We'll see where he's at this week. And, I definitely wouldn't rule him out. I really don't know. A lot of it comes down to the feel for him. And but that's something that we're going to have to tackle, certainly, when we get to the offseason.
Thank you
Somebody else have
guys.
something?
Is this your most rewarding year as a head coach of the Packers so far?
It is, because we're right here, right now. I mean, you can't worry about what's been done in the past. And just, I think it's rewarding the fact that, everybody counted us out, and we were struggling, and we held it all together, and to get here was special. Our last regular season, obviously our last game for the season at home, to have that kind of environment. A lot of times during the national anthem, you just kind of look up and look around. You're like, wow, this is really special. And to be a part of this organization is really special.